So I chose to do my research paper on gun control. So the history of gun control is that there has been mass shootings that have dated back over 100 years. And then gun violence dates back hundreds of years because ever since pretty much the first shooting or the first war, then that's how long it's been going on for. Um, the reason this is a concern is because there's been a recent spike in mass shootings over the past like 5 to 10 years, and the concerns cause people to bring up gun control and whether a gun should be taken away or gun should be allowed. And one fact is that there's been 101 mass shootings since 2015. So there's two gun control arguments. And the argument for gun control is that owning guns leads to an increased number of homicides. And they also bring up that less guns will equal less crimes. And the argument for guns and against gun control is that if someone wants to get their hands on a gun, then they're going to do so either way, whether it's through the black market or somebody who got it from the black market. And that if somebody wants to shoot someone or have a mass shooting, then they're not going to take into account whether guns are allowed in that area or not. And the second argument is that the Second Amendment allows people to bear arms. So contributions to gun violence is mental illness, harassment, bullying. And when these two things are combined, that's when you'll find your school shootings because I don't know, either somebody's getting bullied too bad or somebody might have a mental illness and then gets bullied because of that, and that leads to a school shooting or a mass shooting in general. Having few friends and social isolation, as well as anger towards other people, are also causes. So, is gun control worth it? Why is gun control worth it? It will take away guns from people who should not have access to weapons and get guns out of the wrong hands of the wrong people. And this could limit some mass shootings as well as some violence. The question, why is gun control not worth it? So people could revolt because they would not be happy about their guns getting taken away. And criminals are going to find a way to get guns regardless, whether it's through the black market, like I said, or some way illegally. And disarming people will lead to people not being able to protect themselves, which will only harm the general public. And the reason for this is because police cannot be everywhere at once. So if there is a mass shooting taking place, then everybody's pretty much just sitting ducks and can't do anything for themselves. Then going through the trouble of taking away all these guns is not worth the time and the effort for likely little change because the benefits of guns outweigh the consequences. So what is being done to address this issue? And to address the issue for gun control is that new laws are being introduced and higher ups are pushing for less guns being available to the general public. And to address against gun control, and it's a gun safety classes. People are getting guns in order to protect themselves, and then concealed carry classes as well, and just basically the general knowledge of guns being informing people about it and making sure that they can reduce the gun violence. What more can be done to address this issue? Mental screening tests once per month in workplaces and schools. This can allow schools and workplaces to figure out if everybody's in the right mental state, and then they can address it if they're not. Each school can have at least one cop on staff, and then hopefully this cop can disarm the school shooter before the situation can even occur or escalate. You could train more people to get concealed carry, so then there's usually somebody that'll be armed in each crowd. And then bullying prevention programs in schools. And another thing is that there should be like mental screenings for people with concealed carry each month or every couple of months or something like that. So then you can ensure that they're in the right mental state as well. And if they can't pass a mental screening test, they should have their license revoked. How can I contribute? So personally, I believe that I could contribute by getting my Ford card, which I already did. And this is just for the general public too. This is how everybody can contribute. And they can get a concealed carry license. And the reason for this is because I think it helps to have people in the crowd with a weapon, as long as they're mentally sane, obviously, because this can help stop a situation from escalating. And obviously, not saying I want this type of situation to happen, but it helps to have somebody that's not the mass shooter with a weapon nearby.